Good morning, everybody, and welcome. I'm Mayor Myron Bailey, and on behalf of Mary Giuliani Stevens, next to me here, for the Mayor of Woodbury, we sincerely thank all of you coming today to celebrate with us as we break ground on the East Metro Public Safety Training Facility. Before I go any further, we would like to introduce some of our distinguished guests. First of all, we have Senator Bingham. Okay. Representative Dean Erdahl, Chair of our House Capital Investment Committee. Thank you for coming down today. I believe Mr. Franke, Representative Franke, will be here shortly. We have Representative Tony Juergens. We have Washington County Sheriff Dan Starry. Where are you, Dan? We also have my fellow council members right through here. We have Councilmember Steve Dennis, Councilmember Dave Feedy, Councilmember Lorraine Mills, and Councilmember Wayne Johnson. And I'm going to turn over to Mayor Giuliani Stevens to introduce Woodbury.
Thanks, Myron. Thank you. Well, welcome, everyone. They did tell us get really close to the microphone, so I thought, well, if I envision as an ice cream cone, I'll probably succeed here. But really, welcome. And when I thought about today and coming out here for the groundbreaking, I thought, this is what it looks like when people work together to accomplish something that's going to serve the needs of our communities and our residents for years to come. So many people to thank. I just want to recognize some additional officials that are here. We have Representative Kelly Fenton that represents a portion of Woodbury. From our city council, we have Council Member Julie O's. Thanks for being here, Julie, and Council Member Andrea Date with us today. So thank you for coming out. I'd also like to thank the staff, of course, who are instrumental in this process. We get to stand up here and do the thank yous. They get to do all the hard work behind the scenes. But I want to especially thank Captain Greg Rinzel, Commander Chris Meinert, retired Public Safety Director Craig Worley, current Public Safety Directors Peter Kerner and Lee Vague, and of course under the leadership of our two city administrators, Charlene Stevens and Clint Gridley. I'd also like to thank our community partners, and we have several in this project. The South Washington County Telecommunications Commission, and of course the South Washington Watershed District. And finally, and most importantly, I want to say thank you to our residents who have been behind this project and who have supported this project from the very beginning. And finally, I'd like to say thank you to those that are doing the actual work, to Leo Daly, who's designing the facility, and if you've seen the renderings, you know that that's going to meet the needs. And then RJM Construction, who's going to oversee construction of the project, and I know they have representatives here today. So today's a great day for Woodbury and for Cottage Grove. This ceremony is an important milestone for our communities. And again, our communities have and will continue to work together in the area of providing police, fire, and emergency medical services because both of our cities have an integrated public safety model. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor Bailey, and we'll continue with the ceremonies. Thank you again for being here.
We would not be standing here today without the support of the state of Minnesota. And so specifically from Senator Dave Senchum and all the senators on the Senate Capital Investment Committee, and then obviously from Chair Erdahl and Representatives Franke and Juergens, and all the representatives on the House Investment Committee. That is all I can say is thank you from both of us, from our communities and the citizens of Cottage Grove, and frankly the East Metro, because that's what this is about. It's not even just our two communities, it's for everybody in the East Metro. I'm extremely proud of the dedicated service that our public safety employees provide to our communities and their role in keeping all of us safe. With this new state-of-the-art building, this will help us to better serve you, the public. It is their dedicated work that does keep us safe. Their service is something we can always rely on. They are here for you, your loved ones, and everybody that's in our community. In just a few minutes, we'll symbolically toss dirt to signal the start of construction. And ironically, in little over a year, we'll be standing in front of the new East Metro Public Safety Training Facility and doing a ribbon cutting. Today, we take another step toward providing a reliable, safe, and secure training facility for our public safety personnel for our entire region. So now what I'd like to do is we're going to give the opportunity for some of our elected officials to come up and say a few words about this project, and again, the instrumental part that all of them played to make this project become a reality. So I will go ahead and start with Senator Carla Bingham. So why don't you start, Senator?
So first, I just want to congratulate the communities of Cottage Grove and Woodbury on demonstrating the collaborative relationship that you have to provide services for the communities. And that is something that I hope this is a great example of efforts moving forward on a project of regional significance, because this is really going to provide services for our community and allow our public safety department to, both of them and from around the East Metro, to have an area for training. Specifically for de-escalation. A couple years ago, the state implemented policy for additional training on that, and this is going to be the home for being able to offer that training. And I hope it expands, because I think there's opportunity for whether it's training on sexual assault investigation or human trafficking, which is a huge priority for the Washington County and East Metro area. I want to thank Senator Senjum, especially for somebody being in the minority party, and Chair Erdahl for including this. I also want to thank the Public Safety Department for all their lobbying efforts and coming out and demonstrating the need, because that is key when trying to pass legislation. I want to give a shout out to former Senator Dan Schoen for starting this, and Public Safety Director Craig Woolery for your leadership here, and Chief Vag. So thank you. I look forward to seeing this in a year, and let's break some ground.
All right. Next is I'm going to go ahead and introduce Representative Tony Jurgens.
Today is a great day for East Metro cities, first responders, and residents. I'm proud to have been the chief author of the bill that secured the state funding to make this training facility a reality. I fought for this project not because it was the right thing to do politically, but because it was the right thing to do for our community. Representative Franke and I are both members of the House Capital Investment Committee, and we visited prospective state bonding projects all over the state. We invited our committee here over a year ago to learn about the Hero Center project firsthand, and our project stakeholders did a fantastic job of selling the need for the East Metro Public Safety Training Facility. I want to thank the project team members for always being available to provide information and to answer our questions. Their knowledge and preparedness was evident when they presented the project at a committee hearing that led to this project being included in the House bonding bill. Cottage Grove and Woodbury were ahead of many other projects, and today's groundbreaking is clear evidence that their preparedness resulted in a shovel-ready project. I live just a couple of blocks from here, so I'll be able to watch the progress of this building, and I look forward to the ribbon cutting next year upon the completion of the East Metro Public Safety Training Facility. Thank you.
I did mention your name, but we do have Representative Franke that joined us, so I just want to say thank you also for your support on this project. The next one, I believe, is Mr. Erdahl, I believe, would be next on our agenda here, so thank you.
Well, thank you. Great to be here today. I came last night and stayed at my brother's, who lives in St. Paul Park. There's a Frankie sign.
Come down for dinner?
Well, I got there too late for dinner, but breakfast would have been good.
I would have cooked it for you.
But, well, you know, GPS doesn't work real well from St. Paul Park to here. And you think the very least Sean could have done was given me a police escort, so I could have found this place. Well, I'd like to, thank you for providing me with the opportunity to be here today. Certainly, like to get out and, help some of our bonding projects get kicked off. Had a big task. We actually, of course, did 2 bonding bills in the last biennium because the previous biennium we didn't get the major bill done. So we had last year $4 million in requests. Excuse me, million. That'd be easy. $4 billion in requests for a bonding bill that was going to be less than $1 billion. So we had to go out, we had to vet all of the projects that we could get to into about 100 last summer. And again, Representatives Jurgens and Franke serve on the committee with me. and were regularly twisting my arm about this particular project and helping to convince me of its importance to this area. And they were successful. You aren't the only center of this type that makes applications, but we certainly were attentive to your needs here. This met various qualifications that we have to be a successful bonding project. You have to have a regional significance, and you have to have a definite impact on the public, and this certainly does. The other authors on the bill, again, Representative Juergens, the chief author, and then on the bill are Representative Franke, Representative Ward, Representative Fenton, and it's very important to have their support. And I think there are senators involved too, but I had my direct contact on this with the representatives, and they did a fine job in representing the needs of this area. And so we're very pleased to be here today and to help you get this going. Obviously the police, the first responders, the firefighters, and for the East Metro area, this is a very important facility. And I look forward to coming back for the ribbon cutting, and look forward to this facility having many important years of service to the East Metro, to these communities. So thank you.
All right, and then we also have Representative Kelly Fenton that will be speaking here.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody here. What I love so much about this project is this is a project that knows no political line. It's a project about serving the community, and it was my honor to work with everybody involved, from whether it be Washington County, our city leaders, our city public safety, law enforcement, as well as everybody in the Senate and the House who championed this bill. So it is my honor to see this project come to life, and I look forward to standing united with all of you in 1 year when we come back to do a ribbon cutting ceremony. So thank you so much.
Well, good morning. I'm Peter Kerner. I'm the Director of Public Safety in Cottage Grove. I'd like to thank both cities, mayors and city councils, both past and present, for their commitment and dedication in seeing this facility become a reality. Your support of the public safety services delivered are truly appreciated, not only by the men and women in public safety who provide services, but also by the communities that we serve. This goes way back. In 2011, Cottage Grove and Woodbury started looking into the future of public safety training and realized the East Metro was lacking any dedicated training facilities to meet our current or future needs. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety also identified the East Metro as a region within the state that lacks adequate public safety training facilities and recommended state funding for a multi-purpose regional facility that many public safety disciplines and organizations can use. Since we're already partnered in training and mutual aid, it was a natural fit that Cottage Grove and Woodbury would take the lead on filling the need in our region. During the years of planning, we knew this facility needed to be much more than a firearms range or just classrooms. The project team put in countless hours and 7 years of planning with our prospective partners to ensure we meet the current and future needs. We needed a safe and secure location that provides training areas for tactical and operations training, as well as areas for training in crisis intervention, mental illness, conflict management and mediation, and the value of community diversity and cultural differences. The many flexible spaces of this facility will allow multiple public safety disciplines to work and train in collaboration with each other.
I don't know what else can be said other than to add my personal gratitude and thanks to our elected officials at the state level, governor, our state elected officials and local elected officials for for joining our vision and making this a reality. This is a very exciting day. I always take a lot of pride in being in a line of work where I think the expectations for us are very, very high. And in particular, in working in a community and amongst communities where the expectations are really, really high for us. So, we always do our best to pick the very best people and the right people to put them out there to serve all of us. but the other part of that equation is to make sure that they have the training and the equipment that's necessary. And we have that. The people that are out there serving us right now are very well trained, but we knew Greg and Chris and Craig back in 2011 that this just wasn't going to work into the future. It wasn't a sustainable model. So to make this investment, to make this commitment, not only to the men and women who serve us, but to the people of our communities is a very proud day for me. And I thank everybody for being a part of that. I also want to thank the sheriff for joining us in this vision, Dan Starry, and being a part of our future. And it's a very exciting day.
I just once again want to thank the mayor of Woodbury as well as the council and then all the different parties involved in this. Before we actually go out and do the ceremonial tossing of the dirt, you know, one of the things, sometimes you look at what's going on in politics these days, and there's people kind of fighting against each other, party against party. This is one of those instances where cities work together, the different groups up at the Capitol work together, of different agencies are working together. So this is a true collaboration to make this project become a reality that's going to serve both our communities and frankly the East Metro. And what's also neat, and I can say it from I'm sure the mayor could maybe agree with this, and that is it's also going to prove beneficial to our local community because there is a gun range in there that can be utilized up in the public sector. So there's a lot of different things that this facility is going to benefit for all of our East Metro and specifically the cities of Woodbury and Cottage Grove. So again, on behalf of myself, I know our staff and the council and everybody else, I want to say thank you to everybody that helped make this day become a reality. It's a vision that did come true. Thank you for coming.